Okay, sorry about that, everybody. So my name is Coach Stacy, as I was saying before, and I am here to help you build confidence through personal development. So who am I? I have a bachelor's degree in liberal studies. Actually, it started out in journalism from Penn State University. My first master's degree was at Drexel University, where I have my teaching certification. So I am a certified teacher in New Jersey. I have multiple teaching certificates, including math, language arts, and elementary. I have also completed an MBA with a focus in project management, a master's in human resource management, a master's in information systems management, and a degree in public administration. I'm also currently working on a doctorate degree in organizational leadership. So I have a very varied background. And part of that is I have a passion for learning and education, and I love knowledge and acquiring as much as I can. So that leads me to my belief in building confidence through personal development. So part of what I've tried to do for myself is to develop myself and my skills in order to have confidence when I interact with others, when I'm on the job, in a career, or any other area. That's part of what I have done and what has shaped me. In addition to growing up with a single parent, I've grown up very poor, and I've always just strived to try and do better and make more of myself. So let's talk about what builds confidence. There are many areas of confidence which is also involved in building self-esteem. And one area that I find where you can really build confidence is in helping others. And I know it sounds really simple. And oh, well, Stacy, I could have thought of that. Well, yeah. But here's the thing, when you help others and you reach out to other people, you are actually also helping yourself. And what I mean can be simple. Are you walking? We are in the middle of a pandemic. Is there a neighbor's dog that you can help walk? Is there somebody who's maybe you can go and get groceries for them? Is there someone who is in need of maybe just some company? Do we think to reach out to others? Do we think to talk to people? Call someone on the phone? Are people lonely? I've gone through various stages where my self-esteem and my confidence was really low. And I really wish I had someone else reach out to me and care. And you'd be amazed at just reaching out to others and how that can build your confidence and your skill level. And it can show you how much how worthy you are and how much the world needs you and your gifts. I had somebody say that to me once a long time ago, and I said, how can, I was feeling really down and really depressed, and I didn't think that I had anything to offer. I didn't think I had anything to offer people. I said, how can I help other people if I can't help myself? Let me tell you, it starts with helping other people. When you can help other people, you can help yourself, because the truth is there are probably so many people out there who are in need. And when we feel bad, or we feel like, oh, I just can't do anything, or oh, I can't make it through the day, knowing that we have people to help and that people who need our skills is so important. I mean, think about it. Can you get up and get dressed? And can you drive somewhere? Can you make yourself a meal? Can you make someone else a meal who maybe can't make it for themselves? Can you find people in your neighborhood? I mean, I feel like we sit and we're in front of the television so much, and it's like, you know, we wonder why we get upset or like a loss of confidence or self-esteem when we're looking at other people or comparing ourselves to other people or saying, oh, why aren't I doing this or that? And what you will find is that is taking a toll on your self-confidence. And if you can turn it around and get out and help others, you are helping yourself that way. So that is just one aspect that I wanted to bring to your attention. The next aspect, and this goes along with helping others, is taking action. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you what I mean by that. Taking action is about the most important thing you could ever do. Let me tell you, your confidence will not change sitting in front of the television. Your confidence will not change or improve sitting on social media, sitting on the internet. That is not going to help you to build your confidence. That is going to help destroy it. And I know what we need to remember, and I feel that the world has somewhat lost this. Think about where the money is, okay? When social media and websites get you to sit on them, they make money. So they make the world believe, oh, this is better. This is good for you because they make money when you're on it. So of course they want you to think that. But it's not. Because if your self-confidence and self-esteem is being hit and you're feeling bad about yourself and you get off of you go to sleep at night and you're feeling depressed or sad and, you really don't feel rewarded like you've done anything, it's because you haven't. And I've been in it. I've been sucked into this world of the internet and social media. And I'm not saying don't ever do it. I'm saying put a timestamp on how long, like an hour a day. And I can almost guarantee your confidence will increase. Okay. But let's talk about also what other actions we can take. When we are not helping to improve ourselves, or which can be as simple as going for a walk or exercising. What is something that it's taken me a long time in my life to understand is all of these commercials that sell exercise or gym equipment, or they try to get you to go to a gym. And I'm like, yeah, right. No way. I'm not going to a gym. I'm not going to go and work out. These people that they show on TV, they claim it's just so great in the world. And I'm like, no way. I'm not going out for a run. But here's the thing: exercise and movement are good for you. And one thing when you hear this word exercise, because I hate the word exercise, don't get me wrong. Okay. You can be like, Staci, I'm not going to go and exercise. I don't care what you say. And I'm like, I know. I don't exercise either. But here's what I do. I walk. And you know what? Walking is exercise. Don't kid yourself and don't let anybody tell you differently. Walking is exercise. And one thing I just started doing, I actually did get myself a treadmill over the holidays. And I am working up to walking more on it. So one thing when you're like, well, Staci, okay, you should really walk about 45 minutes a day. But just starting and walking 45 minutes a day isn't necessarily realistic. Okay. So here's what's okay. Start out walking 10 minutes a day. Maybe you walk 10 minutes a day for a couple weeks, and then you increase it to 20 minutes a day. And then you do that for a while. And then you increase it to 30 minutes a day. And then finally, you work up to the 45 minutes. I'm a big fan of incremental success and incrementally getting to the goals. So when you hear people on TV or, oh, just start working out for an hour a day. Yeah, right. It ain't going to happen. They're setting you up for failure. So what should you do instead? Well, maybe you can start out with 5 minutes and then increase it to 10 and then increase it to 15, whatever works for you. But don't be hard on yourself if you don't just go and start exercising for an hour a day or start exercising for 30 minutes. You have to build up to these things, and that's okay. And you know what? Your confidence will build by doing so. So now, in addition to that, personal development, learning something new. We are now in this pandemic and there's additional lockdowns in, depending on where you are in the world. So what I encourage you to do is if you have time, or I'd say try and make time, tear yourself off of social media if that's something that you normally do, and learn something. There's a lot of free ways, and I say there are some free methods as long as you have the internet, which I'm assuming you do if you're part of the event tonight. You can, YouTube has a number of free courses, all kinds of things being trained on, and there's different technical skills to learn, more about the computer or there's digital marketing, there's all sorts of things that you can be learning. I'm also trying to learn the guitar. And there's free trainings on guitar and a load of instruments. If you're able to get an instrument, I actually purchased my guitar that I have at a secondhand store. The first guitar I bought was only $25. So, if there's something musical, if that's an interest of yours, there's also this udemy.com website, and there they have some free courses, and they also have things I think are relatively inexpensive. I mean, there's courses that can range from like $9.99 to $12.99. I mean, I feel like for a full, you can get multi-hour courses, and they divide it out into all different areas, which I think is really great. And when you learn something new, you're really building confidence in yourself, and you're building your competence and showing that you can do something new. And you know what? You can then share this information with others. And when you do that, that definitely helps to build your confidence. And what I was saying before, coming down to small goals. If your goal is to maybe break a social media addiction or break some other addiction and start replacing it with something else. Don't get discouraged. Keep trying, but set small goals, because maybe, like I was saying with the exercise, well, maybe starting out with an hour isn't right. And that's okay. We tend to be very hard on ourselves. And, you know, my favorite subject to teach, and I have a real passion for it. I actually want to teach this at the high school and college level, and that's math. And please, I know everybody's like, oh, I'm bad at math. No, I can't relate to Staci. Math isn't my thing. And I get that. And that's part of why I want to teach it, because I want to change those scared faces who get really, upset when anyone brings up math. And the reason is, in my mind, math is a metaphor for life. That's what I call it. Because the real way that, in a perfect world, I like to say, that math would be taught is where you can try, You get it wrong, AKA fail, which is fine. And then you try again because you then learn incrementally. And when you're learning things, when you mess something up and then you learn how to do it right and you get it better the next time, that also helps to build your confidence. So I want to encourage you to do that. And that's part of where I keep trying to get my students to, I say, no, you have to keep trying. And unfortunately, there's some teachers that make their math students really miserable. And that's something I just don't support at all. So I really try to come back to the fundamentals of math and what it really takes to do it and to be successful in it. And that is a willingness to try. And you have to have confidence to try, and you have to have confidence to keep trying. But what builds the confidence when you make a mistake and you figure it out and then you do it better the next time and you get it right. So those are just a few thoughts. And one last important thought to share. Don't compare yourself to others. Okay. And I know, Staci, that's impossible. I have to compare myself to others, or, I have a sibling and, oh, they're the golden child, or they're doing so much better that I could never do. No, 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 no. That's setting yourself up for failure. Sometimes we need to put a little bit of a blinder on and we need to say, that's that person, and that's all well and good for them. That's wonderful. And we need to zone in on what our talents are. What gifts do you have to bring to the world? Because I bet you have a lot. And I'd encourage you to see what they are, find opportunities to bring it to the world, which includes helping others, learn things, teach others what you know. And I know your confidence will grow. So those are a few thoughts that I wanted to start out sharing with you. And again, getting started isn't easy. I know that. It's why one of the things that I've done is I just start really small. I, you know, I try to learn something for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. I try to walk on my treadmill at least 5 or 10 minutes. And that's not a lot. That's not really where I want to be. I wish I could do 30 minutes twice a day so I'd get a total of an hour in. But I can't beat myself up over it. I can't stop trying. Okay? I can't stop trying. That's where we're going to fail. That's where the confidence stops, is when we give up and when we stop trying. And I know it's like, oh, but I've tried forever. But maybe it's not that it's good that you kept trying, but maybe if you need to adjust your approach, then you would be more successful. All right. So those are my initial talking points for tonight. And I do have a website that I've started. It's still a little raw. It's still in the development phase, but if you want to take a look at it, and there's my email if you have any other questions. So let me see right now. I'm going to take a look at the chat and then I'll open it up to see if anyone has any other questions. Okay, so Sue, so we see I have a question about social media, being off of it. Okay. It is a struggle, so Susan, you bring up a very good point. And Susan is mentioning here, she says she owns her own business and part of her responsibility is social media and marketing, right? Learning to balance because it's constant, right? Because this internet, it's around the world, every time zone. So you can't even stop it. So here is my suggestion. Okay. I want you to set a timeline. You can't just let yourself be doing it 24 hours. Okay. I have, and I'm sure other people do too. So I work from home now. And part of the problem is it's like, oh, I have to be there for every email. Right. Oh, and even if it's not anything pertinent. But do I really? So, I would say maybe you're taking, from 6 to 8 p.m. every day to work on Susan, to take time and walk, take time to breathe the fresh air. Okay. Clean your house. This is something else, I did forget to mention this. Something that I started doing, and it was like really small, and I was neglecting, my house. I mean, I would clean, but I didn't vacuum as often as I could. Maybe I let the dishes sit in the sink a little too long, but I make it very purposeful now. I make sure I make my bed. I make sure that I vacuum every day. I make sure that I am doing the dishes and I'm getting it done and I'm keeping things organized. And something else I'm trying to do is get rid of things that I don't need, which is not easy either. But the social media, I know it's very hard and balancing it, but I would strongly encourage you to find time and share it with others. So if what you're doing is a matter of when people can contact you, tell them when the best time is to contact you. Maybe it's just between 1 and 5 p.m. Eastern or whichever time zone you're at, right? Put the barriers back out there and let people know when they can contact you and when they can't. So that would be my suggestion there. And yes, playing an instrument is difficult in an apartment. But and I've lived in an apartment too, and I was trying to play my guitar, and I know I didn't want to interrupt my neighbors either. So here would be my suggestion. Either play only midday, midday when you're not going to be waking other people up. Can you play in your car? Can you bring it out to your car? I mean, depends on what kind of an instrument are you playing. So I would look for other, is there any place else? Maybe you can sit in a park, depending on what your weather is like, to learn something new. I mean, are you just crossing it off the list without really considering every option that you have? Oh, someone, okay, painting, artistic too. That's great. Absolutely. That's a good thing. Um, okay, so someone else is saying sometimes, even though I am taking action and learning, after some time, I'm getting negative thinking. Okay, the negative thinking. I have been, this has happened to me where I would get a lot of negative thoughts and think, why am I here or what can I do? We It's unfortunate that we have to have that negative thinking may never stop. So what I would encourage you to do is to have a list of what to do when the negative thinking comes in, because taking action can't stop, right? We have to keep taking action and keep building our skills and ourselves in order to build the confidence and hopefully minimize the negative thinking. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen. It happens to me. Okay. It's dealing with it. Have an index card or a piece of paper and say, here's the actions that I'm going to do when the negative thinking comes in. Here's what I can do. Here's my plan. That's what I would encourage. Are there any other questions? Or if anyone, give me 1 second. I just have to set this. Let me just stop my share for a second so I can grab this other menu. Let's see, I've just said it. So if you want to unmute yourself and ask yourself a question before we end, I'd be happy to give any advice that I can. Oh, I have another question in the chat. You're right, Susan. It is. Mental health is a struggle daily. And if you are seeing clients all day, maybe there is like a contractor for your business that you can hire. Maybe there is someone who could take over for you so you can take a break. I found that, sites like Upwork and Fiverr, there's a lot of people willing to do contractor work. If that's something that you could try to unload, again, it's for your own mental health. And it's so hard to break. It's so hard to stop things. I know it is.
I'm a
And that's why I'm saying to
hairdresser.
do it in small pieces. I'm sorry, Susan, go ahead.
I'm a hairdresser and a salon owner, so that's not a possibility for me. And I love to listen to people. People are my purpose. I enjoy it. I really, really do. And it's just very sad right now because self-confidence, I've always struggled with. And being you're almost like what we call a therapist, sort of a therapist in the chair because we become on a very friendly level with people.
Yes.
And so I thought by, taking this, I'll be able to help other people as well. But it is a struggle. And a lot of people have been cooped up inside and watching a lot of TV. And maybe we're not, I definitely did not exercise during COVID. I think a lot of people did. Definitely was not me. I was semi-productive, but I had a lot of issues too with the possibility of a business closing. So I can really feel for the person that just said that those negative thoughts, I try to stay positive all day and it's draining.
And let me tell you something, Susan, just so you know that to build your confidence, you are so important. The people you're talking to, I bet talking to you means so much to them. Okay. I know when I go places, getting out of COVID just in general, I mean, a smile, talking to somebody means a lot to me.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
you are there. You are their rock. I can guarantee it. I don't even have to be there to know it because being someone who can lend an ear, always have confidence, Susan, because what you're doing is so important. And it may seem so small, but small, it doesn't matter the size. It's still important. So I want you to know that business you're running, those people you're listening to, you're giving an ear to, you are so important to them.
Thank you.
And you should know that the ability to do that and the fact that you're taking a chance to do that, that is important to those people. So please don't ever stop. Okay. I mean, I want you to take a break and I want you to
Yeah.
pay attention to Susan, but I want Susan to know that Susan should have tremendous confidence in knowing you have such a purpose. You're telling me you have that purpose. You're here to give to people. And that should always make you feel good about yourself. The
I
fact that you're
appreciate all
doing
of
that.
your advice and the fact that other people are sharing things. I think it's really important to realize that you are not alone when you are having self-confidence issues or you're feeling negative, or you have a bad day, or even you made a mistake. I mean, it's things that happen, and I think this is a wonderful thing that you're doing here to bring everybody together. So we everybody can have a better understanding that they're not alone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. Um, yes, so we're asking, I have a question. So just advice on confidence, as of right now. Yes. Um, okay, so we have another Susan, want to help people, but I am clueless. I would not know what and if they needed help unless they tell me, though. Okay. So now this is an interesting perspective. So sometimes I know it's hard to read people, and it's hard to see when people need help and when they don't. Doesn't always mean that they need help, but sometimes people could just use a friend or someone to listen to them. So I would think sometimes we ask, don't wait for people to come to you. That is more self-serving, I would say. What I'm encouraging is to take action. And when we do that, we need to go and ask others, can you use my help? Or can you advise me where to get help? Waiting for people to come to you, they're never going to come to you, right? So I would encourage you to turn that around, right? And try and reach out to others. Any other questions? Any other closing thoughts? Anything else I can offer? So part of this is helping me to build my confidence, because something that I've wanted to do is help others when I'm not teaching right now, and I want to you know use what I have and the knowledge that I have to help other people, or to at least inspire other people, spark an idea somewhere. I love listening to motivational people. Some of my favorites where I get my inspiration come from Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, Zig Ziglar, and oh, there's one more that I'm Brian Tracy. So, I love listening to that because sometimes it'll just spark something. And personally in my life, I just feel like I am supposed to be sharing. Oh, okay. Jordan Patterson. I'm not familiar, but if that's a good one, then I would encourage you to listen to that. Um, I feel motivated to help others and give talks and give motivational speeches with the hope that it will help spark something to make someone's life better. Any tips on how to stop comparing ourselves to others? I find it difficult too. I'll tell you, there's this one friend of mine, and she is a successful chief financial officer, and she went to Boston College for her MBA. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could be doing that. I think that's so fantastic. But um, again, the way I would suggest trying to stop comparing ourselves to others, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Write down what's great about you. What do you have to offer? What do you bring to the world? I bring Part of what I bring, and I know this, is I'm upbeat. I'm peppy. People can be like, oh, she's Pollyanna, like, okay. But I'm not just Pollyanna like. I'm a believer in being positive to bring about positive outcomes. Okay. Will there be negative? Yeah. Okay. I I don't uh, I'm not clueless to trust me, clueless to think that negative things are going to happen. Of course they will. But we can always go in with the best attitude and hope for as best of results that we can. Right. So I feel motivated to do that. And I really feel like, I can break things down for people. I can give other people ideas. That's part of my strengths. So I'd encourage you to find your strengths. And yes, the book, The Secret, I love that one too. I have that over on my bookshelf. So that's also great. It does help with the negative thoughts, looking at things. And sometimes we have to just keep doing it every day. because those negative thoughts come in. I mean, and I know it's really can be hard to avoid. So it's can be a constant battle. And that's why I encourage helping others. Sometimes that changes our personal thinking, where we can think about the needs of someone else rather than ourselves. Um, and we all have our own journeys. I feel I have my purpose. I'm here to teach others and teach math and and other, hopefully other skills, other anything else I can get my hands on to teach. But that's my calling. It may not be a chief financial officer, even though I'm a numbers person, but I feel like I have more of a social outgoingness to me, where I want to connect with people. I want to talk and communicate with others, right? So I would encourage you to look inside yourself and just think, what do you have? Don't worry about what other people are doing. I mean, I come and I tell you I have all these degrees. Don't worry about what I have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for you. It's what you have to bring the world. Anything else? Any other thoughts? Well, I thank you all for coming, and I hope that this helps you. And I hope that you will continue to look for additional events. Check out my website. There will be more stuff coming. And I wish you all a fantastic 2022. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.